You've felt it before, haven't you? Not with strangers, not with distant acquaintances, but with someone close to you, a family member, someone who's been in your life for years. You talk to them, you sit across from them, you share moments that should feel meaningful, and yet something feels off, not dramatic, not obvious, just empty, like you're speaking, but nothing is truly landing, like you're being heard, but not understood, like there's a wall you can't quite explain. And the most unsettling part, you've started to question yourself. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe this is just how people are. But what if it's not? What if what you're sensing is real? Not in some supernatural sense, but in a deeply psychological one, because there's a kind of absence that doesn't scream, it doesn't shout, it doesn't even hurt in an obvious way. It just quietly disconnects, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's explore something uncomfortable. Philosophers have long spoken about the idea of presence, not physical presence, but psychological presence, the ability to be fully there, aware, engaged, alive in the moment. Nietzsche warned about people who drift into what he called a herd mentality, where individuals stop thinking independently, stop questioning, stop becoming. They exist, but they don't engage. Now imagine this not in society, but in your own family. People who go through the motions, say the expected things, react in predictable ways. But when it comes to depth, to reflection, to emotional awareness, there's nothing. Let me tell you a story. A woman once described her relationship with her father. He was always there, provided, spoke, even laughed, but when she tried to connect, really connect, something was missing. She would share something personal. He would respond correctly, but not deeply. It was like talking to someone who knew the script, but not the meaning behind it. Years passed before she realized it wasn't that he didn't care, it was that he didn't know how to be present, and that distinction changes everything, because this isn't about labeling people as soulless. It's about recognizing a pattern of disconnection, a way of existing that lacks depth, awareness, and emotional engagement. Psychology has a term for part of this, emotional detachment, but it goes deeper than that. It's not just about avoiding feelings. It's about never fully developing the capacity to reflect on them. Dietrich Bonhoeffer described something similar, not as cruelty, but as a kind of internal absence, a surrender of independent thought, a disconnection from one's own moral and emotional awareness. And when that happens, a person can function perfectly. They can work, talk, even appear kind, but something essential is missing. Now, here's where it gets difficult, because if you recognize this in someone close to you, you're faced with a painful question. Can you truly connect with someone who isn't fully present? And even harder, have you been trying to force depth where there is none? This is where many people get stuck. They keep explaining themselves, trying harder, hoping that one day something will click. But awareness doesn't work like that. You can't give someone depth. You can't force reflection. You can't create presence in someone who isn't willing to look inward. And that realization, it hurts, because it means accepting limits, not of your effort, but of the other person's capacity. Now, before you turn outward completely, let's bring this back to you. Because here's the twist. Most people don't expect you might recognize these signs in others, because part of you recognizes them in yourself. Think about it honestly. How often do you listen without really listening? How often do you react instead of reflect? How often do you avoid uncomfortable truths about yourself? This isn't about judgment, It's about awareness, because the same patterns exist on a spectrum, and the difference between a deeply present person and an emotionally empty one isn't perfection, it's attention. Attention to thoughts, to emotions, to actions. Plato's cave tells us that people can live their entire lives in illusion, watching shadows, believing them to be reality. But leaving the cave requires something difficult, the willingness to see, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it changes how you see others, yourself. Machiavelli once said that people judge more by appearances than reality. And nowhere is that more dangerous than in relationships, because someone can appear caring without truly understanding you, appear present without actually being aware, and if you're not careful, you'll mistake familiarity for connection. But they're not the same, So how do you recognize this pattern? Not through dramatic signs, but through subtle ones. Conversations that never go deeper, emotions that are acknowledged but not explored, a consistent feeling of being alone, even when you're not. And perhaps the most telling sign, you feel more like you're managing the relationship than experiencing it. That quiet exhaustion, that's not in your head, it's the weight of carrying something alone. Now, here's the truth that changes everything. Not everyone is ready to be fully present. Not everyone has developed that level of awareness, and that doesn't make them evil. But it does mean something important for you. You have to decide where you invest your energy, because connection requires two people who are willing to see, not just look, not just respond, but truly engage, and if that's missing, you can't create it on your own, but you can do something else. You can turn inward, strengthen your own awareness, your own presence, your own ability to reflect and engage deeply, because the more conscious you become, the clearer everything gets. You stop chasing empty interactions. You stop forcing depth where it doesn't exist. You stop doubting your own perception, and slowly you start choosing differently, not out of anger, not out of judgment, but out of clarity, because once you've experienced real presence, real connection, you can't settle for anything less, So the next time you feel that quiet emptiness in someone close to you, don't ignore it, but don't rush to label it either. Instead, ask yourself something more powerful. What am I truly experiencing here? And even more importantly, am I fully present in my own life? Because in the end, the deepest connections you'll ever have depend on one thing, not who's around you, but how awake you are to yourself.